Hey, okay, so welcome back to the next video. This one's going to be making the logic on the actual missile controller. This way when it gets hit with a missile, it doesn't just destroy instantly. Um, okay, so let's go back into the game. I did record this video already, and then the audio on the mic was cutting out for some reason, so I had to roll everything back. So I'm pretty sure I have it back exactly how it was before this video. So yeah, basically on this missile launcher, we're going to have to do something to make it separate from the city one. So what I'm going to do is add on here, we're going to make a script just called missile launcher. And we're not really going to have to actually even do anything with that right now. But let's go back into our code, and I think almost everything is going to be in this enemy missile class. So let's go in here, and first thing we're going to want to do is this missile explode method we have here. This is, actually you can just copy this line. This is what we're going to want, but we're going to look in here. So this gets called every time the player missile hits a defender. Right now, all of our defenders are classified as a defender tag. So all 6 cities and the missile launcher up here, it's set as defender. What we'll want to do is, no matter what, we're going to want to destroy the missile and call missile explode. But before we destroy what the missile hits, we're going to want to do a check here, and we'll do call dot get component missile launcher is not equal to null. So basically, if whatever we hit has the defender tag, and then if it has the missile launcher script on it, we're going to want to do this here. So we'll just do a comment for now. We'll put to do subtract player missiles when launcher hit. We'll add that in later. And then all we're going to want to do here is return. So this will actually just tell it basically break out of this whole on trigger enter 2D. So it'll skip the rest of the code. It'll never call this one. And the colliding object, which in this case will be the missile launcher, never gets destroyed because this code gets skipped. So let's test this out before we go further. And if one hits it, it should not be destroyed now. Oh, this one should go. Oh, this one too. Okay, so it's not being destroyed. So that's at least the first part of what we want. So what we'll do is, let's go to game controller. And yeah, you know what, right around here, we'll make another public method. We'll call this one missile launcher hit. Okay, and for now, we're just going to do player missiles left minus equals 10. So all this will do is anytime it gets hit, it will subtract 10. We're going to change this later. We're going to do it like the Atari 2600, where we'll make a little UI element that shows how many missiles are loaded in the launcher. And then if an enemy missile hits it, you lose what's in there, but you don't lose the entire launcher. So say if you're down to, on Atari, they do it as 10 each. So say you have 24 missiles, you would have 4 of them loaded in the launcher, and if it got hit, you would lose those 4, but then you would load the next 10, so you would still have 20 left. On the arcade one, it had 3 separate launchers, one on each side and the one in the middle, and they each had 10. You had different buttons to fire each one. So if one of them got hit, you lost that entire launcher, but you still had the other 2. So this was, I guess, probably the console simplified version, since they didn't have all the buttons for firing each one separate. So we'll do basically what the Atari did, but for right now we'll just subtract 10. And you know what, if we do this, you're not going to see it right away, so we actually need to update missile left text, because otherwise you won't see it until something else tells it to update the display. So that should work. Let's try this, and anytime the launcher gets hit, we should see it lose 10 missiles. Oh, perfect. This one's going right there. Okay, so it gets hit, but it doesn't destroy, but we didn't lose the missiles. Oh, and this is something I do and probably a lot of people do all the time. You forget to call it. So let's do missile launcher hit. And now it should work. All right, this one's coming in. And then soon we'll have to start looking at adding some little sounds. Okay, so drop down to 20, so that's perfect. One other bug that we have that we're gonna have to do is if a city is destroyed, these will just come here and not do anything until you click to destroy them. But in this case, we have -10 missiles. So that'll be another video too, where we'll have to set it to, on the last time, if you have less than 10, then we'll actually destroy the launcher. But let's fix that one bug for now. If we take the missile explode code, we can do an update. We can just do a simple check if transform.position equals target. And we're going to call missile explode. So visually this will look a little off because the missile is going to explode in the air before it hits the ground. But for now, it's not game breaking. I classify that kind of as a cosmetic thing. So all of that I leave more till the end. Once you have the actual game prototype and the gameplay working, then you come back and you can fix everything up, make it, you know, visually do whatever you want. So here we see, even as it is, it doesn't look terrible, but we should be able to fix something up for that later. Okay, so that's good for this video, and then yeah, we'll start looking at making like a little missile controller coming up.